with the Stop the War Coalition, Jennie Walsh.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Jennie Walsh. I'm Stop the War Coalition press officer and proud lifelong NUJ member. No conflict in history has ever been this deadly to journalists and to health workers, of course. So the Stop the War Coalition welcomes this London Freelance Branch initiative to honour the over 100 reporters and other media workers killed by Israeli forces in its Gaza genocide. At the heart of the trade union movement lies international solidarity, which the Palestinians so urgently need. It is right we are remembering workers killed in Gaza as part of the International Workers' Memorial Day events, and all unions should be doing the same. Yet they were mostly silent yesterday about workers being killed in Gaza and on the West Bank. I was pleased that our union, the NUJ, did issue comment yesterday, marking the deaths of journalists in Gaza and the deliberate targeting of them by Israel. But the union needs to be fighting for journalists in Gaza every day, and we want to see the national banner on our marches. We should be seeing a lot more trade union banners on our marches as well, because Palestine is a trade union issue. Anyway, I want to mention the humbling experience of being on the Media Workers for Palestine event last week with Ala Shamili, the sports journalist who was speaking from Rafah, where he and his family are living in a tent. He has lost his home 3 times in wars and is homeless. Being on the same call as him was difficult to process, to be honest, but much more difficult is, as Ala says, for him and his colleagues to find the words as they try to report the scenes of utter devastation around them, whilst terrified for their and their families' lives. Allah is desperately trying to raise enough money via a GoFundMe page to get him and his family out of Gaza to safety. So I think we'll probably try and circulate the link to that somehow. I saw a heartbreaking film of Mohammed Hassouna, the young son of writer and poet Amna Hamid, pleading with Al Jazeera journalist Ismail Abu Ammar to help him clear the rubble of his home, in which his mother, brother and several other family members were killed in an Israeli missile strike. With Israel refusing entry to Gaza for any foreign journalist, despite attacking the Palestinian journalists reporting on the ground as terrorists, it is left to the likes of Allah and to Ismail to not only convey the horror of the genocide, but to also be first responders, carers and comforters, if comfort can be a thing amidst such horror. And it makes me so angry that the only time the mainstream British media takes notice is when Western workers are killed. To quote Ala Shamili, "Those who watch and listen to this horror don't make the connection between the killing of journalists and the killing of the truth. Some, and we know who and why, want to minimise the truth of the horror or simply hide the truth. And if the media fails to be a global force, truth and lives will continue to be killed." Now that's certainly true too of the media's reporting of our national demonstrations. They're still portraying us as hate marchers, as the mob and as anti-Semites. The Daily Mirror on Saturday even lied that there were clashes between us and the police, when the truth is one single arrest on a march of over 200,000 people is unprecedented. We are marchers for peace, we are not hate marchers. But finally, can I make an appeal? Marches do cost money, and we're running a more sustained cycle of them than any time since our foundation in 2003. So if you're not already a member, please join Stop the War. It costs as little as £3 a month. Please also, if you're able, can you take part in or cover, if you're news reporters, the Workplace Day of Action this Wednesday, which is obviously International Workers' Day, May Day. There's details on the Stop the War website. So thanks a lot for inviting me here tonight. Free Palestine, solidarity.
Thank you very much.